Good morning, I'm Derek Simmons, I'm the Port Distribution Superintendent. I guess we can say the core mission of our job is to distribute quality drinking water to our customer base and fire suppression. Distribution maintains all your water mains, water lines, meters, service lines, hydrants. We oversee the backflow program as well. Making sure we get the right backflow installed for the potential hazards out there that could be pumped back into our system. A few quick stats. Distribution has a staff of 20 personnel. Our budget's a little over $2 million a year. Distribution, approximately 11% of the JWSC's total budget. We report directly to the Executive Director and Mr. Bowman. A few of the things we go through, we cover the repairs, as you can see in that picture. We cover hydrants, mains, meters, service connection valves, backflow preventers. We maintain a little over 517 miles of water line in the system and 8,600 valves in that system. 8,600.
8,600.
Like I said, we make all the repairs on the main service lines. Your service lines run anywhere from 3/4 to 8 inch. The mains run anywhere from 2 inch to 16 inch. We keep track of all our services and working on them. There's 29,230 meters in our system. And there is also 446 fire suppression lines in the system that we have to maintain as well. The old city and St. Simon system are somewhere between 40 to 60 years old. The north and south mainland systems are somewhere between 20 to 30 years old. Most of those PGC on them two systems with St. Simon's and the city system. You can see we have ductile iron, galvanized, AC pipe, translite. Most of that's what we have out there. There is some PVC in those systems. The large majority of it's older stuff, such as you see on the table there.
Excuse me, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Just so at this point, do you know how many miles of each type that you have
That's
approximately?
not at this time. We're actually going through kind of block by block now, taking a look at some of this stuff so we get an idea of where everything's at. Our mapping system's there, but it doesn't tell us what's what. Last time I remember for the city that was actually updated was in '82. And it still won't tell you what's actually there. We find a lot of stuff that ain't on the maps. To meet the staff, start off with Mr. Hall here. He is our distribution supervisor. He oversees our day-to-day operations in the field. He's also my second. He works closely with our warehouse, making sure we keep all the materials we need on hand. The best material available to us that we can start replacing some of this older stuff with. Our position for our administrative assistant right now is open. We're working on that. I've got to start interviews next week on those. Here's some of our service crews. We actually have 5 different crews. There's 3 of them. We've got a couple of our crew leaders here, Mr. Paul Harry and Jason Daniels sitting here. These guys go out. They're the ones that go out and fix all these service leaks and repairs and install new meters. Take low pressure calls, replace main services, valves, and everything else. These crews receive anywhere from 5 to 6 calls a day from customer service. And each one of our crew members, including the other 2 crews, all go on a call for a week at a time. They 24/7, they take calls. They can get anywhere from 3 to 5 a night, 3 to 5 a week. It varies on the temperature a lot, believe it or not. But Mr. Hall over here, he is on call 24/7, 365. He's the first connection between these guys. If it's bad enough to get more help in here, and when it gets real bad, they will call me out. These guys are fixing anything from leaks to pouring concrete, to laying sod, constructing curbs. They do a little bit of it all. Get out their bed, 2 o'clock in the morning, go out there and jump a hole full of water at 20 degrees outside. They do a good job. This is some of our jobs that our service crews have completed. One of the latest is the Mallory pump station. They replaced 4 of the valves in there for production over there, got that back up and going. They also were working the finished water meters Donnie was talking about. They're installing them. The Marshall building over here, they rerouted a 12-inch water main out from under the new judge parking. Went in, we took that project on, got it back out and around. No real interruptions. I think we had water down for couple hours at most. But they're very proficient at their job. I had the pleasure of going over to Jekyll and watching some of their crews. We have outstanding crews. I'll leave it at that. Here's a job we pulled up on. It was kind of interesting. Over at Frederica and McIntosh Avenue, I got the call, so the contractor bored into one of our 8-inch lines. When I pulled up, this is what I seen. It hit the line, making a boil for a telephone, backed his trailer in over the hole, and I was sitting there trying to get the water turned down, watching his trailer slowly sink. But got him to move his trailer, and we started flooding the road. And a lot of you may remember this, we wound up shutting Frederica down and detouring around for a little while. But you can see the repair there. It's an 8-inch transite line there. Runs down Frederica just up in the village up there. These crews working this, a lot of the times they won't even turn the water down. It stops us from having to put out a lot of more water notices. They just as soon get in, they get wet, get muddy, go change clothes, or just keep working. Here's a couple more pictures of a job we had over on Kaiser by the hospital. So another contractor hit a 6-inch transite over on that road. You can see they don't mind getting them hole full of water. And here's the actual repair on the right side. Picture on the left there was on Shrine Road. Believe it or not, it's another contractor. Hit a 6-inch transite there. They spent approximately from 2 p.m. that afternoon till somewhere around 8 or 9 at night making that repair. When they walked out of there, everything, the road was open back up and traffic was able to keep passing. The steel casing on the right there was kind of interesting early one morning. We just got into work good, got a call that hit a line over on Cypress Mill. The contractor actually bored through the steel casing, hitting the 8-inch C9 PVC line inside. We wound up shutting Cypress Mill down. We spent an entire day and part of the night out there working on that job. These jobs were billed out. I'm not sure whether we ever collected on them or not.
Someone had. That was the day it was almost 100 degrees too.
Yes, sir. And we thank you for the tents and
We had to go by.
Well, don't these people call before they dig?
Yes, sir. The line was actually marked. The marks were dead on the spot. They went over there and looked at the top of a valve, and the top of your valve on the 8-inch line is generally about 2 foot or so above your line. They tried to go a little deeper and put it right through the middle of the line. I've got a few shots here of some of the stuff these crews deal with. This is a piece of 2-inch galvanized on the left. I might not be able to see it, but there's actually pinholes all in that line. They go out, instead of a pinhole, they try to make a quick patch until we can get back and replace the line. They generally wind up cutting out large sections of it and going in and replacing until they get back to material that'll hold up then. Picture on the right is the actual picture of the inside of that same piece of tube. You can see it ain't growed up real bad, but the old pipe's just gone. This piece of 4-inch up here, that longer piece there on the table, on the left, you can see it. It don't look real bad from the outside. You look down the inside, you might have a 2 to 2.5 inch flow there. We've got a bunch of this in our system. The phosphates and stuff that Don and Billy and them's putting in it has helped, but it's let's get by until we can get it replaced. This piece actually come off of the Macon Street project. We put in a little over 2,800 foot of new C900 pipe, 8-inch over there, upgraded fire protection, up G Street, down Macon, and even a portion of J Street. That was all done in-house with a total, it followed the Urbana project track. I want to say the total cost was about $62,000. Our crews actually put it all together, and we got out ahead of the contractor and never even slowed them up. Picture on the left is actually a picture of a piece of transite pipe that was busted. We cut it, got it out. I wasn't going to bring it up here because right up here knows what it is. We have a bunch of this in our system as well. I've got 4 different projects to redo in the master plan. A lot of it's the old city system, and we have got a couple places on the island we're trying to get rid of as well. The picture on the left is a old lead gooseneck, and you can see a lot of these on the transite lines and even some of your duct line lines. It's actually laying there on the center of the table. That piece there, and Donnie and Billy, with the lead laws and the way they're changing on it, we have a lot of them still out there hiding. If we wind up with a problem with lead in the water, it's going to be a service by service need to find them and get them out of the system. Doing away with a lot of this old transite line will take care of a lot of that issue, which will, in the future, will actually help us out when the lead laws start to drop again. This is the newest crew we have. This is our Line Pluses crew. We got Mikey sitting over here. He's the crew leader of that crew. These crews are going to be going block by block, digging up the veins to upgrade our mapping system. I want to say every Wednesday they've got it set up for GIS to go out with them, and what they found throughout the week, they're shooting valves, meters, hydrants, lines where we've dug them up and can actually identify what they are. On our mapping system, when we click on it, it should be right. They have worked everything from the end of the spur extension back up into 99 now. All the subdivisions have been going through again. They've also come up part of L Street and hit some sporadic areas in town that we knew that wasn't right, and we had gotten them back and set up with GIS to get straightened up in the mapping system. Here's just kind of an idea of what they get into. They actually were out there with the metal detectors, checking a corner, found the valve, dug it up, raised it up, made a temporary patch in the road. Got traffic back together. We've got a lot of valves that's been paved over everywhere. They're in plywood beds, covered up. We have some that just like to pull the box up, throw it away, and put plant flowers where it was at. So. Our hydrant crew is a little short-handed now. I can say that we have got an operator that should start the 27th. He comes with some pretty good credentials. He's working with the Waycross water system up there, working with hydrants. He's setting meters, working leaks. His paper looks as good, and we talked with him, looks as good as he actually comes in work. He'll make a good asset to us. There's 3,700 hydrants in our system and it's growing daily. Our hydrant crews will be going out and they're gonna be painting these hydrants, getting POs, statics and residual pressures. We're keeping logs of that. It'll be turned over to GIS as well to put into information on our mapping system. They're also bringing these hydrants up to grade, straightening them up, and painting them to the fire codes and regulations. Our hydrants, well, your green top hydrants are putting out anywhere from 1,000 to 1,499 gallons a minute. The orange tops, 500 to 999, and your red top is 499 and under. This is just a few of the things we wind up getting into when we go out and work on a hydrant. There's actually a list of this stuff. This is part of it. Sometimes we go out there and take a look at a hydrant, it's cheaper to replace it than it is to rebuild it. There's actually a breakdown of a hydrant on the left. There's a lot of little components inside, anything from an O-ring up to some major brass pieces in the bottom of that thing will get kind of pricey. The picture on the right shows an actual installation of a hydrant over on Atlantic Drive and 6th. I want to say we've done that hydrant when they had the Atlantic Sewer project going on. I've got some pictures in here of what our hydrants look like a while back. They have come a long way since. We have jumped around here and there and hit spots on the island. A lot of them out in the North Mainland area, and tried to straighten some of this up. We're getting calls from the fire departments for some of this tore up here and there we have to pull out and go hit. We're trying to bring it all to at once. Jumping around kind of messes us up because you get over there and you wind up losing something, getting with, not starting off where you were at. But that's a lot of what we look like. Got leaking hydrants, probably been hit by a car or a mower or something. This one in particular was hit by the County Public Works over on Sweet Gun. To actually replace the hydrant would have cost us around $1,800 plus labor cost. The cost for the parts alone for that hydrant's a little over $1,300. We had a hydrant laying on the yard, but the lower foot was damaged by a car in a wreck. So we took the top of it off and made a replacement, $200 in labor. And a part of a hydrant that we were fixing to throw out scrap was repaired. On the left, this is a pretty simple fix on this hydrant. Looks like about an 18-inch riser should bring it up to where it needs to be. Paint it and install your reflective tapes and your road markers on it. That's a pretty simple one. On the right, that hydrant's set too high to start with. In order to bring that hydrant back down to where it should be, you have to replace that hydrant. That lower unit's all one piece. You have to go out there and dig it up, get an idea how deep your main is, and order a hydrant to fit it. It takes a little more for it. So you'll see some of them that may be a little high, but we're trying to weed it out instead of replacing a hydrant that's actually working operational. We try to leave them there. This is something we're running into, and you're probably going to get some phone calls on it. I'll go ahead and tell you, we're handing out the paperwork for the fire code that says we got a 3-foot clearance around each hydrant for us to work. The vegetation growth, we're actually looking at a couple over on North Mainland now we didn't paint a mess with because there's a Christmas tree and some rose bushes planted on it. We actually hung doorknob notices for them to call us. We haven't got a call back yet. Our next move is to try to make contact with them. If they're there, whenever we can catch them. If we don't, we're going to go out there with a tractor, snatch it out of the dirt, throw it in the truck. Let the guys finish up the work and move on. That hydrant there, I couldn't tell you what color it's supposed to be. Not real sure whether it's red or green top, or I'm not even sure if that's just mold growing. That's what we're trying to bring up or make them look good again. A lot of neglect on the system. This hydrant was painted actually by the city. This is what we went to. You got your color coding scheme. We're actually adding that blue reflective tape around the ring, flashing lights at night, pick that tape up and show you where the hydrant's exactly at. These hydrants here, that's an orange top hydrant that puts out anywhere from right up to 1,000 gallons a minute. You can see the valves are brought up and they're at just above grade level there, where we can get to them, where we need to get to it. There's a green top hydrant, there's the blue RPM markers, the raised pavement marker that goes just off right about the center line of the lane. This also helps your fire department see where that hydrant's at night when they run down the road, what side of the road it's on, and everything. It indicates all that to them. Helps their response time. And then we get into the backflow program. You'll commonly see this backflow standing outside the road. You might not see it all, might be up in a closet in the building, fire rate. This is actually a double check backflow. Using low hazard connections such as a fire line or just a domestic water line. Any customer with a pump such as a commercial dishwasher, booster pumps or anything like that on a commercial, on a fire line or a domestic line are required to actually put in an RPZ backflow. We actually look at each system, each building or each residence or however you put it, to what the hazard potential would be to our system. And if there's something that can pump back into our system, if something went wrong, we actually make them go to an RP, which the RPZ will actually dump water out instead of letting it get back into our system. Those two crew positions are open right now. Mr. Bowden's working on some stuff with that. But right now, me and Mr. Hall is actually trying to keep this thing afloat between everything else. We're really, it's kind of challenging. You pretty much go door to door. These guys are out there now on the residential stuff. You can see this one small meter setup. This looks like a long piece of pipe, a meter in the middle of it. This is our new meter setup. The piece right here is a dual check. That is going into every residential unit. That is a backflow unit for a residential house. Each new setup has that going in. As they come across them, just on an ordinary leak, they're putting those units in. A lot of the county system is set up like this. They are hard to work on out there. So we're pulling this whole unit here out. This is the new setup that's going back in. The county did not put backflows on their residential meters. That's the large purchases I was telling you about the other day we're going to see coming through. We're actually trying to purchase them and go.
When did the requirement for backflow?
Every service connection has to have a backflow.
When did that come in?
I think it's 96.
I believe it was. But we're trying to get this thing up and off the ground. We're getting a lot of feedback from customers. I know y'all hear it too. But it's slowly coming along. This is some of the stuff we collect on the backflow information. We get the make, the model, size, location, certified test results from a certified tester. They send all this information in my office. It is put into the XE2 program, which is a program we use to keep up with all this. Through that program, we also generate letters to send out to the customers if their backflow is due or fixing to become due for testing. We send them a letter out usually 30 days ahead of time. And we also have steps that we can take, send out other letters, send some certified letters out if they're running behind. On the left, you have it's an older setup, but this is a backflow on your meter. It's a residential setup. It's non-testable. You'll see some of these in the city system, I know. I'm not too sure about the county if they use any of the riser setups, but we do have a few of them out there. On the right is an actual RPZ being tested. This type of backflow and the double check are tested annually. And right now, with it set up, the customer is responsible for getting it tested annually and sending the results to us. Questions?
Commissioners?
How do you differentiate the ownership of the backflow device?
In order not to have to put on a whole department just to cover backflow, it is set up where we can actually say, hey, you have to, that the laws were set up to where we can take ownership or we can leave ownership on the customer. But the only backflow that joint water and sewer puts in is that residential one. But
Okay, so all commercial entities own their own backflow?
all commercial entities are on their own backflows. And we're trying to cover all fire lines, domestic lines, and irrigation.
I got a question. I know I should ask this question to water production guy, Donnie, when he was talking about low pressure. There's low pressure in downtown Brunswick, and I realize you told me too that there's no funding to do that yet because of the plots or whatever. That wasn't a priority. But when those systems start failing, how do we, put that on a part and get it done? I mean, the issue is we're having an issue with flushing toilets at the Ritz. Pressure won't build up enough to do it.
I know a little bit about the Ritz. I was with, I can't remember the gentleman's name. He was actually looking and doing that project over there. Patterson. We went and walked through and looked at it. He was asking me some questions about it. I've actually got a large main right there in the street beside the Ritz.
Okay.
From what I could see of a lot of their plumbing is old galvanized plumbing, which has probably grown up over the years. But like I was talking to him, and I'm not sure what happened, probably just kind of died. We were actually trying to get things set up to go over there and pull that meter one day and see exactly what was coming off our main. We were actually looking at getting our flow test on that. He was looking at making new taps as well to run into the building to bring that water pressure up. He knew they had internal problems as well. I'm not saying all of it's internal, some of it could be on the meter, but we had looked into it. The project kind of died.
All right, well, I'd like for us to maybe look at that again. It's an economic driver down there. So, thanks.
Other questions? Thank you very much, Terry.